Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being truly well-informed. Today, we're embarking on a really fascinating exploration. We're looking at one of the most unique and I think enduring texts about love from ancient times, the Song of Solomon. And this text, it's just brimming with poetry, passion, and, well, some pretty surprising insights into human connection. So our mission today is to really pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, the key insights from this rich, evocative source. We want to help you understand its powerful themes of love, desire, and beauty. And you might be surprised, actually. The language is incredibly sensual, the imagery is so vivid, and the emotions are expressed with a directness that might, challenge some ideas about ancient literature. Okay, let's unpack this. So right from the start, the opening lines. They're almost startling, aren't they? How direct they are. It just plunges straight in with this really personal plea.
It's truly fascinating, isn't it? How the text just immerses you right away in this personal, passionate longing. There's no slow buildup, no, social context or lineage first. It just establishes this tone of deep intimacy, mutual admiration right from the get-go. And this immediate focus on the physical connection, the fragrance of your perfumes, love being more delightful than wine. It's not just direct. It positions love as this intensely personal, embodied thing, which is, a striking departure from a lot of ancient texts that might frame relationships through duty or social standing. This feels much more emotionally and physically integrated right from the start.
And it's not just one person feeling this way, which is, I think, another really powerful aspect. You hear both a woman and a man expressing this profound admiration for each other. That interplay of voices seems absolutely central. The woman even describes herself. She says, "Dark am I, yet lovely, O daughters of Jerusalem. Dark like the tents of Kedar. Do not stare at me because I am dark, because I am darkened by the sun." How does this back and forth, this kind of mutual expression of desire, how does that really define the relationship here?
Oh, it defines everything. Their descriptions are so detailed and often quite, unique. The man, for instance, he likens his darling to a mare harnessed to one of the chariots of Pharaoh. And then she replies in kind. She calls her lover, "How handsome you are, my lover. Oh, how charming. And our bed is verdant."
Yeah.
This isn't just, flattery. It really reflects the mutual nature of their desire, their admiration. The language isn't just descriptive. It's like an active engagement between them, each one seeing and valuing the other.
That mare harnessed to chariots line. It's striking. And maybe to a modern ear could feel a bit, objectifying. How do we sort of reconcile some of these really unique similes with the overall feeling, which seems to be mutual admiration and deep emotion?
That's a really important point. It reminds us that, the emotions might feel universal, but the way they're expressed is culturally specific. In the ancient world, a powerful, well-bred mare was actually a symbol of beauty, strength, value, prized possession, but also seen as elegant, vital. So while we might read it differently today, in context, it's likely speaking to admiration for her, spirited nature and her beauty. And the key thing is, as you said, the reciprocity. She gives back equally strong, if different, compliments. That establishes the balance. And often these declarations aren't just between the two of them, are they? The woman frequently addresses this collective voice, the daughters of Jerusalem, almost like confidants.
Yeah, like she needs to tell someone.
Right. She charges them with messages like, "Tell him I am faint with love."
It's almost like they're a chorus, sort of affirming her feeling, as if her love is just so big it needs an audience. But it's interesting how those intimate declarations, those individual voices, they often seem to echo in the natural world that's described all through the text. It feels like the landscape itself becomes a character in their love story.
Absolutely. That pervasive natural imagery, it isn't just description, it elevates the lovers, it elevates their connection. When the woman says, "I am a rose of Sharon, a lily of the valleys," she's not just being humble, she's using symbols of, exquisite natural beauty, rootedness. And these comparisons extend to their relationship too. She is like a lily among thorns, which emphasizes her unique beauty, right? Standing out. And he is like an apple tree among the trees of the forest, suggesting, strength, appeal, maybe shelter, nourishment. He stands out too.
The images are just incredibly vivid and sensual too, like his left arm is under my head and his right arm embraces me. Very physical. And then the descriptions get even more specific, like his eyes are like doves by the water streams, washed in milk, mounted like jewels. Just amazing detail. It really uses every sense, doesn't it, to bring this love to life?
It really does. And this natural imagery, it also extends to the relationship itself through some powerful metaphors, like the idea of the garden locked up, a spring enclosed, a sealed fountain. Now that suggests exclusivity, intimacy.
A private world?
Exactly, a cherished private world of mutual delight. But then that privacy is contrasted with an invitation. Awake, north wind, and come, south wind. Blow on my garden that its fragrance may spread abroad. Let my lover come into his garden and taste its choice fruits. So it's this dynamic interplay, isn't it, between treasured intimacy and this passionate, open invitation. Love is both a sanctuary and a fertile, growing space.
And what about that intriguing line? The little foxes that ruin the vineyards. It sounds almost like a poetic warning or something. What do you think that suggests? Maybe about the more subtle threats to a blossoming love?
It's a wonderful detail, isn't it? Almost like a proverb. I think it serves as a reminder that even when passion is intense, small things, seemingly insignificant issues can actually harm something precious if they're not dealt with. It kind of speaks to the fragility, maybe, and the constant care needed to protect a growing love, like tending a vineyard.
Okay, so we've painted this picture of their love through imagery, but it's not just a static portrait, is it? The poem also tells a story, a dramatic one sometimes, of seeking and finding. There are moments of longing that really seem to test their bond. We see these periods of separation, particularly the woman searching for her beloved in the city. She describes it so clearly. All night long on my bed, I looked for the one my heart loves. I looked for him, but did not find him. You feel that desperation?
And that search, it leads to a really dramatic episode. The lover knocks, she delays opening the door. Maybe she hesitates for just a moment too long.
Right.
And by the time she does open it, he's gone. Her heart pounds, then sinks. She looks, she calls, but he doesn't answer. And then, quite strikingly, the city watchmen find her wandering, and they beat her, they bruise her, take away her cloak. This cycle, this pattern of longing, separation, reunion, it's not just drama for drama's sake. It underscores how deeply interdependent they are, how consuming this love is. It's like a testament to the idea that real love isn't just about being together, but also about the ache of absence and, the lengths you'll go to bridge that gap.
It definitely highlights her intensity, her commitment. I mean, she suffers physically for him, and then you have that incredibly famous declarative phrase that just perfectly sums up their mutual devotion. My lover is mine and I am his. That feels like more than just ownership, doesn't it? It feels almost revolutionary, like a declaration of mutual agency, freely chosen devotion. What does that reciprocity imply about partnership in this text?
Oh, absolutely. That declaration is, I think, a cornerstone of the whole text's unique perspective. You have to remember, in a time when women were often seen, legally or socially, as property, this reciprocal claim, I am his and he is mine, it speaks volumes. It suggests an astonishing equality, a partnership born from shared desire, not from, social rules or economic deals. It's a profound statement. Your personal identity intertwined with another, but crucially, willingly so, and on equal footing.
That really does elevate it beyond just a simple love poem. And speaking of elevation, the text has some truly powerful declarations about the nature of love itself. She says, place me like a seal over your heart, like a seal on your arm, for love is as strong as death, its jealousy unyielding as the grave, it burns like blazing fire, like a mighty flame. And then, many waters cannot quench love, rivers cannot wash it away. If one were to give all the wealth of his house for love, it would be utterly scorned. Wow. Those lines are incredibly impactful.
They really are. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this is a declaration of love's absolute power. It's incomparable power. It's portrayed as this force that's as inescapable, as permanent as death itself, something that just cannot be bought or extinguished by any earthly obstacle. It's not just intense. It's a statement about love's fundamental value, enduring, transcending material wealth, external forces. It suggests love is like an inherent, unyielding force of nature.
And that brings us back to that recurring warning, doesn't it? Spoken multiple times. Daughters of Jerusalem, I charge you by the gazelles and by the does of the field. Do not arouse or awaken love until it so desires. What is this charge, this plea for patience? What does it suggest about balancing that intense passion with maybe some prudence?
It's a really fascinating counterpoint, isn't it, to all the raw passion. It suggests that while love is this incredibly powerful, unquenchable force, it also has its own natural timing, a readiness that maybe shouldn't be forced or rushed. It's like a recognition that such a profound connection, it arises organically, at its own pace. And trying to manufacture it or hurry it along is, well, maybe futile or even damaging.
It's interesting, too, how this deeply personal story also weaves in these, surprising royal allusions. Specifically to King Solomon, we hear about Solomon's carriage, escorted by 60 warriors, the noblest of Israel, and even references to his crown. How do these grand, almost state-level images fit with the very personal, intimate story of these two lovers? What does that juxtaposition tell us?
Well, what's fascinating there, I think, is how the text manages to balance that grandeur of kingship with these incredibly intimate personal expressions of love. It's not just, background scenery. It seems to imply that real love actually transcends social hierarchy. It elevates the deeply personal, the sensual, above political power, suggesting that a king's affection in its rawest form is actually no different from any other lover's. It makes it profoundly relatable, regardless of station. The woman, for instance, she sees herself as a wall. That suggests a kind of strength and beauty that brings contentment in his eyes. It's a personal power that maybe rivals royal might.
And it really emphasizes her uniqueness, doesn't it? Even comparing her to royalty. It says 60 queens there may be and 80 concubines and virgins beyond number. My perfect one is unique. What does it mean for the text to declare her unique in that kind of grand context with all those other women mentioned?
It's a declaration of absolute singularity, isn't it? Irreplaceable value. Despite the king potentially having, endless options, the text makes it crystal clear that this love, this specific woman, is utterly incomparable. It reinforces the idea that true love isn't about abundance or just choosing from many, but about that profound, irreplaceable bond with one specific person. It's a powerful testament to faithful devotion, really.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, it feels clear how the Song of Solomon, through its, its vivid imagery, its direct emotional honesty, and these powerful poetic declarations, it offers a timeless and actually surprisingly modern perspective on human love, desire, commitment.
Absolutely. This ancient text, it just reminds us that deep human connection with all its passion, its longing, its joy, it's an experience that really transcends cultures and centuries. It stays profoundly relatable because it taps into something universal about the human heart. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep getting well informed. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.